This is IsAware, powered by Intersoft Associates. IsAware is your connection to exploring the systems and software that power businesses like yours with expert insight, experience, and advice.
Welcome back to IsAware. I am joined as ever by the comedic Hi Goldstoff and Abe Unger from Intersoft Associates. And guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about big data consultants. So let's talk. We've talked about big data before. We've talked about the value of a consultant. Abe, what is a big data consultant? What's the value of having a big data consultant to be alongside you as you're starting to work out some of the things happening in your organization where data and integrations are concerned?
So the value there is going to be talking to somebody who understands the technologies and how to use them to meet your goals. So you know about your data, you know what you're doing, you know about your business. You don't necessarily know about how that is used or how that can be utilized in the technology world. The consultant will be the one who can help you with that, guide you to using the correct technologies, what other data you may or may not need, and how you can sort of put that together to meet your needs. And they're going to help you with that. They're going to help you with that, what technologies, what tools, and how exactly to go about that, because it's not as simple as just pushing a button. You need someone who really understands the technologies out there and what makes sense for your organization.
Hi, what sort of characteristics make, in your opinion, for a really great big data consultant or big data consultancy?
Well, it's understanding what information, trends, being able to potentially forecast based on the data that you have. So it's how do you use it? You know, how does the data that you've accumulated from your own organization or outside outside organizations, how it can be used to help spot trends that you weren't aware of, and to help perhaps have you change things that you do strategically, operationally, and be able to forecast those. And then it becomes a bit of a process where, especially when you're starting, and certainly on a fairly regular basis, look at those forecasts, look at versus actual, and then how do you tweak it to, if necessary, to be even better. One thing is when you have numbers, we can look at history and what happened. And it certainly outlines some trends if it's done properly. But the kind of stuff that a controller might do is more so looking at history, or even an accountant. The being able to not just look at history, but what does history do for us? And part of it is one of these old sayings. People who don't study history repeat the same mistakes. And good consultant helps them seize opportunities.
So if we're kind of talking about history, Abe, how important is having an experienced consultant, somebody who's been in the game for more than 2-3 years, or since the word big data became sort of interesting and trendy in the last 6 or 7 years? Do you have a sense for the value of longevity here, or is that not really necessary?
No, it's definitely necessary, and it'll definitely help in your process. Keep in mind, someone who's just starting is going to be looking at all the fancy tools and all the shiny gadgets that are jumping out at you. And again, someone with the experience knows where to use them. So, you got the Swiss Army knife, but you're pulling out pieces, you don't know what you're doing with it. This gives you a tool, a surgical instrument to do what you need, get what you need done, and do it right. And that's certainly going to help. And that's that person.
And do it quickly. I'm sorry. And do it quickly. You may know what to do, but not knowing how to do it, things can, take much longer than necessary, especially when you're doing modeling, especially when you're looking at various scenarios. And, the longer it takes, the less effective it becomes, even in model building. So, doing it effectively and efficiently. If you don't know what you're doing from the business side and the technology side, you're going to lose. You're going to lose on both levels.
I imagine too that a breadth of experience is really valuable. How often, Hy, do you and your team sort of find yourselves in a situation where you can easily reference, not necessarily a parallel, but, oh, this is not dissimilar to what we did for XYZ client, or 2 years ago when we were in XYZ situation, let's take some of those learnings and put them together here. Does that come up a lot?
Probably 100% of the time. We're always using our experience and what we've done to help other clients. I mean, to different degrees, certainly, but to help other clients. It's interesting. Right now, we're going through an analysis phase where we recommended a strategy, and now we're looking to see how did the strategy work. We know it worked well, but exactly the quantify it, and then say how does that inform our future strategy. What would we do different to do even better? So we're doing that right today. And that's based on, stuff we've done with other clients, and it's certainly a combobulation of what we've done, for client A, C, R, whatever that might be. But we just take that, and it's also a general understanding of, how we can improve the process and what's needed to do that. Foresight is great, but verifying it with the numbers and using the numbers to provide more foresight is what we do, and you always get it from what you've done in the past.
Abe, what do you think the future of big data, from a business perspective, is? I mean, I go to the Internet of Things, I go to artificial intelligence, I go to voice interfaces, with the devices that we're going to be using. I go to VR, which is, I think, 10 minutes away from being a huge thing. What do you think is the future of big data and the value of being able to sort of prognosticate as you're building something now towards, this will be really great in 3 to 5 years when we can then bolt on this or make this modification or change?
Sure. As a result of constant advances in technology and how these things are used, you're going to see those benefits. Many of them you'll see immediately. Many of them you'll see certainly in the future as we get more advanced. But that concept of the artificial intelligence and understanding and predictive analysis, all of these are going to be features that are going to get better and better with time. Like a good wine, it'll age well. You'll get to that point where these things will be really, 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 really impressive. And there's a lot that can be done with that, and a lot that can help in terms of a business, growing a business, understanding patterns, understanding how to interpret patterns, how to react to patterns, and how to be proactive instead of just being reactive. And these are things that we can do today. The artificial intelligence is out there. It'll work today, and those will continue to get better. So I do think this is something that's there. It's here. It's going to be here. It's something to get involved in. It's something to talk to someone about. Speak to a consultant. Talk to someone. Even if you don't know how to use it or don't know how it can apply to you, talk to someone, and they'll find something for you, perhaps.
Heidi, do you think that there are certain industries or verticals or market segments that will benefit more? We've talked about fintech before here. We've talked about financial industries. We've talked about publishing. What are some industries that you think are really going to be dynamically impacted, not just as they are now, but from the future of big data?
Any large organization, to underscore what Abe is, and even smaller ones, if you have a lot of data, not using it, not exploiting it, you're doing yourself a disservice. To underscore what Abe said earlier, without big data, there wouldn't be artificial intelligence. Without big data, there wouldn't be machine learning. And as the amount of data that's being created every single day keeps on going up. Keeps on going up dramatically, be it exponentially or logarithmically. It keeps on going up dramatically, and that will, improve the artificial intelligence. It'll certainly accelerate, machine learning. And that can be used in any organization where, you can also start having people that are doing more rote tasks, start providing more high value tasks, which, improves productivity for your organization. So I don't think it's really industry centric. Certainly the fintech world can certainly exploit that, dramatically. Marketing, Amazon has done a great job doing that. Facebook, all the social media companies use it. And there's no reason that, the smaller organization who has their own data and data that's publicly available can use it to inform their future decisions, analyze what happened in the past, and use that as a roadmap for the future.
It's a great and obvious point that big data is driving these things, and it's like we've talked about before. You don't need to understand what AI is, or how it works, or what an API is, or how an algorithm matters. But these things are affecting you every day, whether you know it or not. And you might as well start to take command of how your business can benefit and be involved.
And it's worth getting educated. Talk to somebody, talk to friends, who they've spoken with. Obviously, you can talk to us. We're happy to help. We're happy to provide guidance. And if it helps you achieve success, we've done our job. And that's at the end of the day. That's all. A good consultant at a good software company wants to do is make sure that the people they work with, are successful.
Guys, interesting conversation as always. Thanks for sharing a little bit more about big data consultancy with us. And as Hai said, if you just are wondering how these things could affect your business, give Intersoft Associates a look, because capable people can help other capable people do good things. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for IsAware, and a special thanks to our subscribers. Consider becoming one today. IsAware is powered by Intersoft Associates, who believes the more you know about your IT, the better. Visit us at intersoftassociates.com and schedule your free consultation to talk about how custom software can help your business.